Jake Paul's world fell apart after he was arrested, and to be honest, it's like witnessing the ultimate fall from grace. All of the hype and years of developing a reputation as the loudest, most outrageous YouTuber and would-be boxing champion have been lost with just one arrest. And we're not talking about a small incident like speeding or getting into a fight. Instead, Jake faces serious charges that could keep him behind bars with no chance of release. His darkest secrets have been thrust into the public eye, and now everything is escalating out of control. But worst of all, no one is coming forward to weep for him. The sympathy meter is at zero, and even more bizarrely, the reason for Jake Paul's arrest isn't some random scandal. Rather, all stems from that famous press conference on August 18th in New York City. Everyone assumed it would be just another extravagant hype fest for his big fight with Mike Tyson. But as soon as Jake strode onto stage, something went wrong. Jake has always been the master of trash talk, but this time he went too far, believing it would be a brilliant idea to take a jab at Tyson's illness. Jake gazed Tyson down and even had the audacity to make fun of him by saying,
"You had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy..."
Even Jake's diehard fans were probably thinking, "Dude, you didn't just say that, did you?" But Jake wasn't done digging his own grave. The room fell silent, as if everyone was holding their breath in an attempt to comprehend the train wreck they had just seen. Jake then doubled down with his trademark arrogance, puffed out his chest, and boldly declared,
"I'm here to make $40 million and knock out a legend. I don't give a fuck about anything else." And he's the one that wanted it to be a pro fight, so he's gonna get his ass knocked out real.
Ignored dignity, respect, or even the sport itself. Jake made it quite evident that his main motivation was financial gain, and your bad Tyson is merely another pawn in Jake's never-ending pursuit of money and fame. And let's not fool ourselves. Jake has never really been interested in honing his craft or picking up tips from a legend like Tyson. Instead, he has always focused on maintaining the limelight, boosting his ego, and staying in the spotlight, while Tyson was battling actual health problems. Ulcers. He might have easily withdrawn from the fight, for heaven's sake, but instead he paused for a while and turned to face Jake when he was fully recovered.
Correct. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Jake Paul KOs Mike Tyson. I'm not here to do shit besides make a bag.
Jake, no. He wasn't interested in improving in the ring. Recall that his challenge to Mike Perry wasn't about personal development or progress, but more a gimmick to maintain his reputation in the media. Jake Paul's ascent to prominence in the boxing world has been nothing less than a soap opera, filled with drama and controversies that leave you wondering if any of it is true. His confidence and large social media following have kept him relevant. But let's not overlook the whispers, not to mention shouts from fans, boxing experts, who have criticized Jake's victories for being shaky, particularly those oh-so-easy TKOs that have everyone rolling their eyes and questioning whether Jake's victories are as genuine as he claims, which is why Tyson...
Be in good shape because your health depends on it.
Hey, you're the one that wanted 8 2-minute rounds. You want to make it 10?
Referees are the ultimate authority in the world of professional boxing, where every punch can mean the difference between victory and defeat. However, when it comes to Jake Paul's victories, those officials have frequently raised eyebrows. For instance, his fight with Tyron Woodley on August 29, 2021, ended in a TKO, but felt more like a magic trick than a legitimate boxing match. Woodley, who is regarded as one of the hardest guys in the world, discovered that the battle had abruptly stopped. It seemed suspiciously staged to prevent Jake's face from touching the canvas. And then fans and critics alike were left wondering whether these victories were actually earned or they were just part of a larger scheme to protect a rising star with questionable credentials after the bizarre spectacle against Ben Askren on April 17, 2012, which resulted in another TKO and another round of what just happened. Askren, a former MMA champion, barely touched the ground before the referee intervened to call the fight. It was like watching a referee put training wheels on Jake's career, making sure he stayed upright no matter what. This is more like an impending storm that threatens to dampen every celebration than it is a minor cloud lingering over Jake's career. He attempts to throw, but Mike Tyson, who has witnessed and experienced it all, wasn't going to overlook this. As a result, when Tyson said that the only rule for their next fight would be knockout, it wasn't only a tactic, rather, it was a challenge. The crowd roared in enthusiasm when Tyson delivered this bombshell, shouting for a real bout rather than another dubious one. However, Jake, let's just say, wasn't very delighted with Tyson's statement that let's see what you're really made of, no shortcuts, no handouts. Victory and Jake completely lost it. He snatched up the microphone and unleashed a tirade that was entirely related to his frail ego and had nothing to do with boxing.
Shut the fuck up, New York, and boo yourselves. Boo yourselves, New York. Hey, New York, New York, New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago. Fuck you, New York. Fuck you. Dumbass Democratic.
This was more than simply a tirade. It was a complete breakdown that demonstrated how uneasy he was at the prospect of fighting under Tyson's rules, which left no space for the customary. He panicked because of shenanigans, and his usual swagger had vanished in favor of a last-ditch effort to regain control over a situation that was slipping out of his grasp. What was worse, though, was that Jake had talked about such a big game during the negotiations, when he was all about fighting on Tyson's terms and making audacious claims about rising the challenge. But now that he was confronted with the reality of those terms, he was slipping back. The arrogance vanished more quickly than anyone could have predicted, leaving behind a man frantically attempting to avoid a conflict for which he was obviously unprepared.
Hello? Jesus. This is...
The charges were for breach of contract and possible fraud, and Mike Tyson's team was caught up in the legal maze. The arrest came out of nowhere, leaving Jake and almost everyone else stunned. One minute he was a carefree surfer dude, and the next he was being dragged off looking more like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar than the brazen YouTuber turned boxer we were used to. If you thought that was the end of it, think again. The entire situation took a turn for the legendary when Mike Tyson appeared on Logan Paul's podcast and was asked why he was pursuing Jake. Difficult right now, Tyson has never been one to back down from a fight or let anyone get away with disrespect. But when Jake insulted him at that press conference and then tried to worm his way out of their deal, Tyson didn't go off the rails. He didn't let the old guy get away with disrespect. Tyson doesn't mince words, and he didn't let the old man down. He laid it all out, making it very clear that this wasn't just about some contract dispute. No, this was personal. Blazing Tyson takes over and explains why, as he has gained experience in maintaining composure over the years, even when his gut tells him to stop talking on the podcast. Tyson stated it in his own straightforward manner. He said, "I'm a straightforward person," in a voice that weighed 1,000 fights. Even Jake's trash talk didn't bother him. Nothing Jake Paul could say could make Tyson blink. But what really irritated him was Jake's flagrant disdain for their agreement for Tyson, who has gone through hell and back. This was more than just boxing. It was about being a man of your word. And in Tyson's world, your word is everything. Although Tyson could have easily lost his temper, we all know what happens when Mike Tyson loses his temper. He decided to take a different route because he understands the consequences of that kind of rage.
Prior experience. When that tough guy Mike Tyson comes out, when it's not necessary to come out, I'm always in handcuffs. So I'm very careful when that guy...
It's a clear reminder of how thin the line is for Tyson between maintaining control and letting things go out of control, because he's lived a life where one wrong move could send everything crashing down. Tyson acknowledged that he used to settle disputes with his fists without asking questions. That's the Tyson who ruled the ring and didn't take any nonsense. But that's also the Tyson who is well aware that flying off the handle has landed him in hot water more times than he can count. He even admitted, "Get ready for a fight, I break out in handcuffs, got the hand." Began behaving up, Tyson made a conscious decision. Tyson's decision to handle things legally was his way of demonstrating that he has learned from the past that he won't allow Jake Paul or anyone else to drag him back into the chaos he has fought so hard to escape. It was a powerful move, but more than that, it was a testament to the man Tyson has become, a fighter who has discovered that sometimes the biggest battles are the ones you fight within yourself. This wasn't just about keeping Jake in check. It was also about keeping his own demons at bay. Ulcers.
Drink, get ready to get in a fight. I break out in handcuffs. I break out in handcuffs.